me to go to college. People were shocked that I didn't. It doesn't matter if other people don't understand your dream, the self-confidence and the grit that you learn in building a business, you can trust yourself to make the best choice for yourself. My name is Sarah King, and my Mary Kay just fits. I grew up in Valparaiso, Indiana, about an hour outside of Chicago. I decided to start Mary Kay because I was really looking for something where I could have a lot of freedom and flexibility, and I knew I wanted something where I could also work remote. So I work my Mary Kay business exclusively online. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about one of our most famous and beloved products. It is the Mary Kay Microdermabrasion Set. I'm a homebody, but I also love to have fun, and I like to go on adventures and travel. I wanted that flexibility to determine what every day was gonna look like, and some days it's full glam and some days it's, comfy leggings, and I love that about my business. I think a common misconception that people have about Mary Kay is that you have to be the glam girl influencer to work online, and let me tell you, that could not be further from the truth. I can be chatty and I love getting to meet new people, but also my idea of a good time is a quiet corner with a book. I love that this allows me to still be myself and I don't have to be glam every day. And I think honestly working virtually gives me the opportunity to be all natural and maybe just have skincare for the day, because who's seeing me, right? I live in a semi-rural area and there's people, but not like a ton of people, And so I love that I can connect with people all over the United States. I have customers in Alaska and I have customers in the South. It doesn't matter where you are. You and I are still connecting really just the same as I would as somebody that lived down the street from me. One of my recent team members actually found me on my Mary Kay personal website, which was so cool. We're going to go over to Evelyn Elliott and she's gonna share some good news from the week. So thank you to all of you who shared the things that were going on in your businesses. We set up a Zoom call. I got to know her. She got to know me. We tried some products virtually. And at the end, she said, "This is great. I want to give it a try." I so believe that your 20s, although they're the time to be young and fun, it's also the time to build. Whatever season of life you're in, whether you're young like me, or you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're a high-powered career woman looking for something different and fun to try, with Mary Kay, it just fits.
Okay.
I love that video.
And I have to stop this because it was still talking. So, okay, well, thank you for patience. And that's real life. So let's do some recognition. So what I would like for you guys to do, and I need to reopen up the chat because I want to see this. In the chat, I would love to see your sales for the week, new faces, any sharing appointments you've had, new team members, and bookings that you have coming up. So what do you still have going? So let me repeat that. Sales, sharing appointments, new faces, new team members, bookings. And if you're a star consultant, just give us a cheer. And I do need to open up the chat because the chat went away while I was doing that. I think it was because I was trying to do this on a full screen in a separate window. For whatever reason, it would not let me let that happen. So let's see. Chat says Carrie 450 for sales. Okay. Yeah, so sales, new faces, sharing appointments, team members, bookings. Anybody else? Okay.
I know directors don't count, but I'm putting mine in just so I'm accountable.
Okay, good for you. We should all do. So, okay. Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do that. So just keep putting those things. Carrie has 2 faces, 2 bookings. Keep adding your things in. And Diane's got announcements for us. So why don't let's keep typing it in, and we'll move on to announcements.
Melanie, before we move on, can we just recognize all the stars from this last quarter? So everybody, if you were a star consultant this last quarter, type in the chat if you were a sapphire, ruby, diamond, emerald, or pearl. And I would love to know any feedback on the virtual trip to Switzerland. I don't know about you, but I wanted to get on a plane and go visit as soon as I was done watching. And if you haven't seen the virtual trip, who has seen it? Who watched the virtual trip to Switzerland? Why is nobody else's hand going up? Oh, Carrie, you did. It is
No,
amazing.
I was working, but I won $50 from it.
Mary,
Woohoo!
congratulations. You won
Congratulations.
$50.
Yeah.
They Venmoed you already 50 bucks.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice job. Don't you love that
Yeah.
when you go to a star party and you win $50
So it
cash?
was
What are you going to do
cool.
with your 50 bucks? Something fun?
I have no idea.
Oh, go spend it on
I
yourself. Go
got
do.
so much going on right now because, Easter's around the corner and my youngest decided to come. So they'll be 23 at my house.
Nice. Very fun. Well, if you were a star
Well,
consultant, we'd love you to put in the chat what level of star
Yeah,
you
it
were
was
because
diamond or something. No, pearl.
I want to
woo,
acknowledge each and every one of you. And so with the quarter just started again on January 16th. So the night of the 15th, we all go to zero and we start all over. So if you don't know how much you have in, please make sure you're tracking that. Our unit goal, I don't know about Melanie and Lori, but our unit goal is to have 13 stars this quarter. So it's all about tracking yourself. It's about pacing yourself and how many new faces can you do. So I really want to encourage you guys. So let's talk a little bit about announcements. We have so much exciting stuff going on, you guys. Let me go into boards really quick. Why am I in the wrong boards? Hold on. I've got so much stuff here to share with you guys. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up. Okay, so in boards, I hope you have a piece of paper and a pen because some of these things are super, super important. All right, so on boards, let me go back to screen share with you guys. Screen share. Okay, so this is on my boards. So on here, you will see I've got free shipping dates. We've got all kinds of great contests. This is a really fun contest when you have 10 people on during the month. Doesn't matter if they're on Wednesday or Thursday, they have to be over 18. So if your aunt jumps on 3 times, you don't get to count her name 3 times. But as soon as you get to 10, you can either choose a business supply gift or jewelry. And you can talk to your director and she will negotiate and get you whatever prize you are excited about. But let's go down here till the April folder. This event I'm super excited about. So Miranda Reigns is a former Miss something, Kentucky Miss, I don't know, one of the states. She's a Miss something. She was also in the Miss USA competition and all of that. But then she decided to become a professional stylist. And she's amazing. She lives in the South. So she's got this super cute twangy accent. But she's going to talk about what's in. Is it shredded jeans? Is it tight jeans? Is it no jeans? Are polka dots in? Is leopard print in? What colors are in? Mocha mousse is the color, Pantone color of the year, and that beautiful sky blue, like the purse that Carrie won on stage, which Carrie, if you happen to have it handy, that purse that Carrie won is that beautiful sky blue, which is the other Pantone color of the year. So Miranda Reigns, you guys, is amazing. Now we are giving away a $400 plus Kate Spade handbag and one or two other smaller gifts. So wouldn't you guys just die if your guest won that Kate Spade? I mean, you'd have a friend for life or a customer for life if she wins that Kate Spade bag.
Let's be
So-
clear. Can we be clear that the gift is for guests, not consultants?
Well, of course, yes, it's for guests. So Carrie, show that purse again if you wouldn't mind. You guys look at this beautiful purse that Carrie won on stage at Career Conference for being in the top 10. That's beautiful, Carrie. Congratulations. So that color is one of the Pantone colors next to Mocha Mousse. So here's what I love about Miranda. She's going to tell you what hairstyles are in. She'll tell you what accessories, hoop earrings, big belts, boots, no boots, platform sandals, no sandals. I always love it because I always want to go in my closet and say, is anything here on trend? But some of you like to be fashionistas and you want to be ahead of the trend. So you might be hearing this and thinking, but Diane, it's tomorrow night. When we get done, we're going to get done right on time tonight. There's no reason. We're going to give you a sample text that you can send out. And here's the topic it's going to say. Instead of saying, sorry, it's the last minute, say, can you be spontaneous? Can you be spontaneous? That's basically the polite way of saying this is really the last minute, but it's all good. Last time I invited a woman who I met through the chamber. She's a branch manager of a bank. I invited her the night before. She goes, yeah, I'll jump on. I said, you know what, Evelyn, that means the world to me that you can jump on. I'd love to gift you a $20 gift certificate for your time. She goes, oh, you don't have to do that. She goes, besides, I'm losing weight. I'm motivated to see what's on trend. She got on. She had so much fun. She actually called, I guess, her sister and went shopping the next week. But just based on what she saw, she then went on my website, looked around on the skincare and called me and said, I'd like to order the repair set and I'd like to order 2 lipsticks. Just from jumping on the trend report. She didn't even have a sample. So don't underestimate the power of this. Now, Miranda's going to go over like what shorts are appropriate for this year because every year it changes. Sometimes they're ripped up, shredded, super short. Like, what do they used to call those ones? The really short shorts. What do they call those?
Hot pants.
Well, hot pants, but I mean, there was another Daisy Dukes.
Daisy
Yeah,
Dukes.
Daisy
Dukes,
Duke.
where maybe all of
They
you
have
is
to
not
be shredded.
under
Yeah.
under the shorts kind of thing. Yeah, anyway. So she's going to cover all of that. If you've got a girlfriend who's a wannabe fashionista, get her on. If you've got a girlfriend who is a fashionista, get her on. If you've got a prospect, when they see that there's 400 people on the event, we've never had a Miranda Reigns event without at least a minimum of 375 people. This is huge. It is also translated into Spanish. So there is the Spanish version if you need to show the Spanish version, but that is tomorrow night, you guys. It is not too late. Remember, everybody that you get on here counts toward that contest I showed you. So if you say, I need to have 5 guests on tomorrow, and use these words, can I count on you to be one of my guests? Can I actually count on you? It would mean the world to me. And give them a gift card. But here's what I do is I said, you have a $20 gift certificate that's good for 48 hours. You give them a gift certificate, some outrageous number, 20 bucks, 25 bucks, but it's good for 48 hours. Trust me, she'll spend it. Yep, she will, which is a good thing. All right, so we've got it English and Spanish. Then the sharing event is Christine Barreco. I don't know her very well. I have met her on the top director trip in Barcelona, but I don't know her very well. I'm sure her story is going to be amazing. Keep in mind, we're giving away 7 free starts because it's only $20 to start a Mary Kay business. Then the red event, all of you, Sherry Tully will be on as a brand new red. Hilda Banks will be on as a red. Carrie McCurdy, all of you who have at least 3 team members, Monday the 14th, mark your date book now. That is the night of the red event. And the stories, I don't know about you, but the stories are always empowering. Last time we had 3 directors, you couldn't get 3 different personalities, like literally different personalities. It was super, super fun. Then the following week is another guest event. Now, what I love about these 2 makeup artists is these gals are about as real as you get. Like they even put the wrong product on, they'll start laughing, they'll drop things, they laugh, they're funny. They're amazing. So both of these gals will be on, both Jackie and Emily. They're going to talk about trends for spring and summer for lips, eyes, and cheeks. They'll explain the different mascaras. They're going to talk a little bit about what colors to use, whether you want to go nude lips and bold cheeks or nude cheeks and bold lips or whatever. We're also giving away another Kate Spade bag to a guest. So again, if you guys want to make money at this, why are you not having 5 people on? If you had 5 people on Miranda Reigns and a different 5 on this one, you already win the contest for the month. All you got to do is turn into your director that sheet that says I had 10 virtual models, right? That's going to be a super great thing. And plus, of course, it's also translated into Espanol. And then the following week, Stacy Kraft, she's funny. She's crazy. Like this gal thinks so far outside the box, there's no box. Like when I met Stacy Kraft, my head was like, wait, what? And I process pretty fast. She is fun, amazing. She's crazy. Now remember, Wednesday the 23rd, mark your date book. This is for consultants only, no guests. This is all the how to follow up and follow through. So what's your system? How do you follow up? Do you facial her? Do you wait a day? Do you wait 3 days for her to call you with your order? Like Janice has got some great training on follow up and follow through. So make sure you got that on your date book, both English and Espanol. And then of course, Elizabeth Kramer, she does a lot of great videos. She's on the 24th. So those are all events that are going on this month. So please make sure you have all of that in your repertoire of stuff. There's also, just so you guys know, I'll stop sharing, there is a price increase coming up in May. So the things you want to be careful of is hydrogel eye patches are going up $4. The roll-ups are going up $4. So I have a customer who's getting married and she's thinking about getting the roll-up bag for her bridesmaids. And I'm just saying to her, get them in April. If you're going to order them, because she wanted to get eye patches in them, I said, you can save yourself $8 by ordering the eye patches and the roll-up now. $8 per bridesmaid. So, and then I'm tucking in a color card for each one of the girls and all that. So, keep in mind the price increase is coming up, and then we are all offering free shipping. So talk to your director and ask her what days is there a free shipping offer so that you can take advantage of that. And also write down April 17th. You all writing that down? That is the deadline for PCP. How many of you have ever been in when they've run out of the catalogs the day of the event? So all of a sudden you get it and they'll give you a slightly lower price because there's no sample inside. So in my brain, I write it literally in my date book, April 16th, because I just pretend that it's the day before. It's like if you said your taxes are due April 14th, same concept. So April 15th or 16th versus the 17th is the actual deadline. Okay. So without further ado, Miss Melanie, who is our Tech Talk genius, would you please take it away?
Okay, well, genius, I don't know about today, but I am going to spotlight, and then I'm going to do my brave thing is I'm going to get rid of this fake background, so this is as real as it gets. But let's see, let's go none. Okay, so there's my messy office, and I'm doing this because what do you think this is? And let me get this thing out of my way. Um, this is how, when I started my Mary Kay business, and this is how I've kept track of my customers. And that means because when I started, I really wasn't trying to do much with my business. And I saw a YouTube video that said you should get a file box and have an envelope for every customer. Uh,
Wow.
and so inside, so this is Amelia. She's one of my favorite customers. And all the important data, like her birthday's on here, March 15th. Her shades are all written on here, and inside are all of her paper tickets. So, and now
God bless you, Melanie.
well, I will tell you, I have a stack of tickets that have never made it into the envelope. Just saying. So, thanks to some prompting from Diane, have been looking at my customers. So, the nice thing is I have been on the computer. I do get website orders, and those automatically go into my customers on the computer, and that does sync with the app on the phone. So I do have some data in here, but not everything. And so,
Can I just
and
say, I'm so sorry for interrupting. I'm so sorry. But I'm so sorry. But it does, I've had clients put their orders in on the website, and it may take a minute for them to go all the way to the app. I'm just saying.
okay, but and I did find some orders probably because I didn't process them fully on the website, because I keep inventory. So I usually fulfill most of my orders from inventory. And if you didn't have Mary Kay ship on a CDS order, there's more stuff you got to do. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting to so I have two. These are my two probably most recent paper ticket orders. And one of them, so I interesting, Betty Joe, very first time she contacted me was through the website on during COVID, and she was very careful. She wanted me to do a contactless delivery. And then I had a just so funny, my winner from one of my booth events happened to be her daughter-in-law, and so I met up with her again at a party. But so she contacts me. Her favorite thing is the cleansing bar, and so I have an order from her, and then I also have an order from a new customer from church, Johnny. And these are great if you haven't listened to Diane's training. She because Betty Joe, I do have her address in my PCP, but I do not have Johnny's. So I have to get a hold of Johnny. She goes to my church, and I need to get her into my PCP. So I just thought it was interesting making sure that you get things in here. So I did add them. I had Betty Joe as a customer already. I added Johnny. Betty Joe's last name starts with a Y, so she's the very end of my list. But Betty Joe happened to be her birthday this month, and so her order, and her order was 4, and I don't know if we can see that, was 4 of the cleansing bar, because we found out that is going to be discontinued, and I'm giving that to her from my inventory. And this is interesting because, so 4 things, but because it was her birthday, we are paying, and so I did mark them delivered already, but her payment, she paid me Venmo, and let's see, but if I tap the total button, I can go in there and put in, because she had a birthday discount, and her birthday discount was let's see, it was 28.60 on her, because she got one half price item. And so you can either choose a percentage or an amount. So I'm going to put in the 28.60, hit the check, and that's going to deduct that from her total. And then you can also go in and put in, so on the taxes, I can set my default tax rate, or if my customer happens to be in a different part of the world where they don't pay taxes, they pay a different rate of taxes, I can put her tax rate in. And then, and so that will automatically calculate the tax. And then I can go in and put in a payment. And she paid me Venmo, so I will put in another payment and put in, the amount was $81.24. And it wants me to put in a description, so I'm going to put in Venmo and check. And now it is marked paid and completed because I was able to mark it delivered. And, you know, that is pretty cool. And then I can go in and go to create reports. And again, my information in here is incomplete because I still have a stack of paper that I haven't entered, but it is so there are several different reports you can choose. If I want to see customer sales summary, so just how much did I get from each customer, or I can get customer sales detail. And so let's just put in, I want to do this for the last year. So I'm going to put January 1, 2024. I'm going to scroll that to 2024. That's the beginning. I'm going to put the ending date, of course, because I'm looking for an annual, I want my year end. And then, so December 31st, 2024. And then I have to select my customers, and I was a little bit frustrated, but there is a button up here where you can select all. So, and then all of the customers go pink. So they're all going to be on this report, 224 customers. And I can go back to that, and I want the format to be, I can choose either a PDF or a spreadsheet. And then let's see what's missing. I did select customers, select all. Okay. Oh, I didn't hit the check. There we go. And now, once I have given all the information, the run report button becomes red, and then I can tap that, and it will give me my report complete. I can download it. I can have it emailed to myself, and I can look at it here on the phone. And it's, you know, it looks like that. So it's pretty tiny, but you know, you can stretch it, and it tells me, you know, what the grand total of the sales that were recorded in my customers. Again, incomplete. So I don't even want to talk about this number, but to be honest, I've only picked this up fairly recently, like in the last week. So it's actually very easy. I will probably get to work on this, or pay someone to get to work on it for me, and have this information that because the paper and the envelopes, yes, I can, when Amelia calls me, I do know what color she wears, but I don't, if I don't have this, I'm completely lost. And this goes with me wherever I go. There you go. All right. Let me
Thank you, Miss Melanie. And you guys, here's the deal. There is no perfect system, but I'm going to tell you, if you're watching this video and you're new, I highly suggest you start with the Mary Kay My Customers Plus app. Some of us have been in Mary Kay for a while, and especially if we're, I'm going to say over 40, we tend to go toward the paper route, but I'm going to tell you that it's really to your advantage to do it digitally when you can, because it not only gives your director an idea of how much you're selling, and she can recognize you for your $100 days and all that, but at the end of the year, you literally hit a button that says year-end total. It'll say how much you paid in shipping, how much you gave away in discounts, how much you sold by one button. I don't know about the rest of you, but if you all just did your taxes and you've been adding up paper invoices, That's an incentive in itself not to do, especially if you're selling a big volume of product. So, and like I said, it's not the customer's job to know what they're using. It's your job. That's our job. So, Melanie, thank you for your brilliance as always. I always appreciate you thinking outside the box and being transparent and just being so like on top of things. And if you guys have a TED Talk, a tech talk or something that you want to see on technology, please let us know because we'd love to include that in upcoming things. So I'm going to switch gears now. Are you done, Mel?
Yes,
Okay. Oh,
absolutely.
love how you just
And
click a button and your office changes. I actually thought that was your office. Okay. So, so what I'm going to share with you guys is, would you agree that the things that I hear the most from consultants when they want help or support is they either say, I need more leads or I need to know what to say when I book, right? And what I'm going to tell you, and this goes to everything, so please write this down, maybe tattoo it on your forehead with a Sharpie. Activity builds confidence. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're a 4-year-old learning how to ride a bike. They have training wheels. You do a couple laps around the court in front of your house, and all of a sudden you're like, Dad, Mom, take off my training wheels. I got it. Even if they crash a few times, activity builds confidence. So for those of you who are like, but I don't know what to say, I don't want to answer the phone. What if she answers? Okay, that is the goal, that she answers the phone. Maybe you call your sister, call your director and say, hey, can I call you as a sample call? Your director will role play with you. But I will tell you, you can ask Carrie, ask any of these people that have been around the block more than once. It's all about practice. So tonight we're going to do part 1 of lead generating. Now, the director who you're about to hear from, she's going to talk specifically about facial boxes. Everything that she talks about, her scripts, her signage, everything has been added to my boards. I put it in the folder called facial boxes and fish bowls. So I want you to think a little outside the box and just listen to what she has to say. Then next week, we're going to talk about other ways to generate leads, not facial boxes, using social media, a little bit of warm chatter, although this director that shares next week is kind of thinking that's a little archaic, although I just got too amazing. The lady at the drive-in window at Taco Bell a week ago, I don't typically go to Taco Bell at all, but I was starving. I just needed one crunchy taco. She opens the door, beautiful skin, false eyelashes, full makeup on. I'm like, she goes, I love your car. I said, I love your makeup. And so we started to talk as I was a little nervous because there were cars behind me, but I got her name and number and she goes, well, can I have a sample for my coworker? I said, sure. So they're all coming to the Martinez event. So you never know when you're going to be someplace and you have the opportunity to meet and greet people. But tonight you're going to hear about facial boxes. So before you roll your eyes and say, I've tried those before, they don't work, I want you to keep an open mind to facial boxes and how these could work. Okay. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen. I'm going to ask you guys just to listen with an open heart and an open mind. I got to share my sound here so that you all can hear. And we're going to hear from Emily, who is just a dear, amazing woman. She is just a hoot. She's a lot of fun. Here we go.
So that you can, hit all your goals this seminar year. So there's lots of ways to meet women. Obviously, I share a ton of ideas here on my YouTube channel, but one of the ones that's simple, it works anytime, anywhere, any place in the US is putting out lead boxes. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some.
Hold on, there's. Sorry,
Some
that's
tips and ins and outs of this. But the first thing I want to tell you, okay, is that this has been on my heart a lot lately, just about leads. Like, it's one of the single topics that I find consultants struggle with the most. It's like, on one hand, you need the leads, but there's just this thing that just keeps stopping you from doing it, even when you get great ideas like the one I'm going to give you today. So I want to address that quickly, because me giving you an idea to get leads is not going to work if you're still stuck in the, I know I need to, but I also know I'm not doing it stage, right? So what bridges that gap? And what bridges that gap is your mindset. And here's what I found with leads. If we go in with a stinking thinking mindset, meaning maybe back in 2015 or some point in your business, you did a lead event and it did not go well. Maybe you sat at somewhere for hours and got like 2 leads, or maybe you got all these leads and nobody booked, or you did a bridal fair and spent all this money and you got bookings from it, but wasn't at the level that you wanted. Here's the first thing I will tell you is that lead generating is a verb. Okay, so what that means is it's not a one-time thing. It's not a noun that just sits there. It is a verb, which means it is something we do consistently. And I'm sure, raise your hand if you've ever had a not so great Mary Kay party. And raise your hand if you've done a facial and you felt like it was really awkward. Okay. None of these things stopped you from doing it again and again and again. It's no different with lead generating. I'll never forget the first time I did a lead generating thing. It was a restaurant event. I got 2 leads. I thought I was like, awesome. Wow, I got 2 leads. Looking back on that, I was like, okay. But I was excited. And one of those leads is still my customer almost 20 years later. And so our mindset is so important. So my first question to you is, when you go out and lead generate, what is it that you expect? Because what you expect is what tells me oh so much of everything. If you expect that you're not going to meet anybody, or if you expect that no one's going to book from you, or if you expect that's probably just going to be another flop, another waste of my time, then guess what's going to happen? It's going to be a flop and it's going to be a waste of your time. So this one time, I want you to run with an idea, and I want you to think the possibilities of, what if this is the idea that changes everything? What if this is the beginning of me getting the momentum that I feel like I've never had before? Because again, if you've watched, I made a video this year about just like New Year goals. If you've never had momentum, you are someone that I am speaking so loudly to, because girl, it is so fun when you get in that flow of things and you really learn the business. And when you're new or you're inexperienced with getting leads, it's going to take a little bit to get good at it. So give yourself the opportunity to get good at something. Okay, with that being said, mindset in place. I expect that this is going to work, and I expect that people want to book with me because of the value that I add to their everyday life and their skincare routine and their makeup routine. Okay, we're ready to go. So we are going to talk about lead boxes. Okay, so here is an example of a lead box. So it's a box, like a drawing box that you put out at local businesses that people can fill out a slip and drop or drop a business card in, and then you contact them about getting a free microdermabrasion facial from Mary Kay. Okay, so it's a simple concept, not always executed well. So first thing, okay, because I know there's some of you watching who are like, oh no, I've done lead boxes before. Okay, but that was then and you're different now, right? And I'm gonna tell you the number one reason why your lead boxes didn't work. Okay. Oh, my phone's talking to me. Okay, that was weird. I think it's because anytime I say okay, my phone thinks I'm talking to it. Anyway, the number one reason that your facial boxes do not work, and please hear my heart that I'm saying this with kindness, it's because they weren't cute. Okay, you had an ugly facial box. Okay, so maybe if you still have a bunch, like take a look at it and really think, if I was a business owner, okay, here's how I think about it.
If you give me 20 seconds, I will guarantee that you sign 20 clients. How? Well, I'm going to help you use the exact same.
If I was a business owner, let's say I owned a nail salon, a dentist office, a chiropractor, a paint your own pottery place, clothing boutiques, nutrition center, all the places that you can put these out at. And I've spent years building up my storefront and my clientele, and I like my front desk to look a certain way, or the table or whatever. Would I be proud to have whatever this person is showing me on my front counter? And I'm going to be honest with you, friends, I've eaten at some restaurants and seen some facial boxes put out there, and they are like messy. There's handwriting. You guys, there is no place on a box like this for any kind of handwriting, art. Your art, I'm sorry, like, I'm glad you're an artist, and like, not on the box. Okay, this is a professional. The other thing is professionally printed. So if your printer is kind of stinking on inking, do you know what I'm saying? Like it's not cute and it's putting lines all over it. Use the Mary Kay discount through Office Max, which is ODP. That's what I use to print things, is ODP. It's through Office Depot or Max or whatever the heck they're calling it these days. I get all my stuff printed there because I want this to look good. Okay, like even this one's my like example one. I don't put this one out because look at this. See how there's a little tear right here? Like this to me is unacceptable. This is not cute. And so if If your boxes have been around the block, time to make some new ones, because we want pride in these. We want them to look good. We want them to look clean. We don't want them looking messy. We don't want it to look like a kindergartner cut a hole in the top of it. I know you're laughing and I know you hear my heart in this, but I'm serious. Like, this is the number one reason that businesses are not saying yes to you to putting out this box. Also, is your box too big? Is it made out of glass? Because that would break, and I wouldn't want that on my counter if I owned a nutrition center, as an example. Are they hard to read? Is that, again, we're back to the printing. So, okay, so this is an example of, except with the exception of this little tear, something that would look nice in a business. So I'm gonna tell you where I get these, because you can get them really easy on Amazon. Friends, let's just stop DIY cutting holes in things when you can buy ballot boxes like this on Amazon for like next to nothing. Okay, we don't need to DIY hole cutting. It never looks good. So you're gonna make the box. I have this sign on my website, which is emilyschutte.com. I will also drop it in the comments of my video, just in the description. I'm sorry. I always put things in the descriptions of my videos, so make sure you look there. Okay, so you can print the signs, good printing. Here's what I love about these. The top part comes out. Isn't that awesome? So these are really easy to make, and they're easy to store, because this doesn't, well, with the exception of mine. See, this is a bad example. I should not even be showing you this, because you're gonna see this tear and then think that that's okay, is not okay. Okay, I think we've been through that enough. So you want to have the sign. You also want to have, so what this is, you know how we get right now, when you order a satin lip set, you get a cello bag. So all I do to make this little holder is I take one of those cello bags, cut the top off, two-sided tape it onto here, and then I stick a pen in, and then I have these drawing slips that they can fill out, and it's about enter to win, and you know what kind of beauty session, blah blah blah. So that's the front of it. No handwritten things on it, okay? And then on the back, okay, on the back I have my business card, front and back. Mine's a two-sided business card, so I put two of them on here technically. So that if anyone looks at the back and wonders who I am, they see my picture, they see the front of my card. There's a little scan code where they can, you know, get a sample pack for me if, you know, anyone's looking, and or so that the owner of the business knows how to get a hold of me in the event that they don't want this at their business anymore. Okay, so this, I know I kind of talked a lot about just making the box. These do not take long to make. That is the next thing. I find consultants get really wrapped up in the arts and crafts part, and they make all the boxes, but then they don't put the boxes out. Okay, so like, you're committing to making the boxes and putting them out. Okay, I know you can do this. This is gonna be really exciting. Now, friends.
Hi, I'm Brett. And I'm Jonathan. This is Darla.
I just want to speak to that for a second. If you're even going to think about doing this idea, the minimum, like don't even bother doing this idea. If you're doing less than this, like don't even bother. I'm telling you, you got to listen to me on this one thing.
Get ready for this, guys.
Minimum of 10. Because out of 10 boxes that you put out, this is what's going to happen. Out of 10, 4 of them are going to get thrown away, or the owner just can't find it. Okay, so now we're down to 6. That is normal, friends. Like, just so you know, that's why, again, I don't spend a lot on the boxes. I know Mary Kay sells some like more permanent ones, but again, they're heavy. They're, you know, it's kind of devastating if someone were to throw it away. These are like not expensive at all. Okay, not devastated. There's also some heft to them so that they, you know, sit on a counter. So 4 of them are going to get tossed. 3 of them are going to have 2 leads in it. 2 of them will have like 5 leads, 6 leads. I mean, if you have more than 5 leads in one of these things, it's like a good box. And then some are going to have like someone stuck a coupon to some other business in there. I mean, like, it's just random, right? So you've got to give the numbers a chance to work. So 10 is the minimum. Friends, if you're going for big goals, like you're trying to earn your first car as a sales director, or you are a consultant wanting to be a sales director, get into your red jacket, I'm going to throw out a number and you're going to throw up a little bit, 30 to 40. Just do it. Just don't. I know it sounds like so much. Just do it. Just get 30 of them out there. Like, because even if each one had one lead in it on average, that's 30 leads, right? And these are just sitting out working for you 30 to 40. I mean, girl, do 50. I mean, like 30, 40, 50, whatever. Okay. So, so we've talked the minimums of how to put them out. You want to check the boxes weekly or bi-weekly. Okay. So here's what I like to do, okay, to put them out, because this is the key part, right? People get really hung up on this. Here are some examples. I'm going to rattle these off kind of fast. These are on my website, so if you want to read it, you can. Places to put them. Ready? Oil change places, laundromats, restaurants, nail salons, paint your own pottery places, clothing boutiques, nutrition centers, dentist office, chiropractic offices, massage places, screen printing shops, consignment stores, hair salons that don't have skincare and makeup products, vet clinics, dog trading places, smoothie shops, coffee shops, the list goes on, ask anywhere. Okay. So hopefully that gave you an idea. And I teach all consultants, do not judge whether you think a place is going to say yes or no. Just go into the place and ask. Okay. So I just walk in again. Okay. We want this looking cute. We also need to look cute. Because again, if I was a business owner assessing you, being like, is this a person I would want to partner with that's kind of representing my business too? I would take one look at the box and go, yeah, that's cute enough to sit on my counter. And I would also look at them and judge. I mean, I'm sorry, people do it. Like, they're judging you. You have one chance to make a first impression. So I would have makeup on. I would have my hair looking cute. I'm not saying you got to be like super dressed up, but be in cute clothes, right? And this is all I do. I just walk in and I say, hey, I'm doing a fun drawing for pampering for ladies in the area. Is it okay if I set this here? That's all I say. We don't have to get, and they might say, well, what is it? I say, oh, I'm giving away some fun, microdermabrasion pampering sessions to ladies in the area. Like, would it be okay to partner with you and set it here? I just keep it really simple. I don't necessarily even ask for a manager. It's just the front desk girl or front person will tell you yes or no and whatnot. And sometimes too, as I'm walking into the place, I like to scope out an idea of where I could put it. Because again, using the mad powers of suggestion and selling, you could say, excuse me, I'm doing a fun drawing for pampering for ladies in the area. Is it okay that I set this here? I was thinking just like right over there by the door where you have that cute little table, or right over there in the restaurant on the windowsill there. So use your power of suggestion to suggest where the box could go. So that's kind of fun. Add your information to the box. I already talked about that. Attach slips and pens directly to the box. And then you go in every couple weeks. Now, this could be fun depending on the place. Let's say it's a nutrition center, a bunch of ladies work there. You go in and I tell them, I'm going to be in every week or 2 weeks just to check the box, if that's okay with you. And if you get sick of it being here, just know that if they say yes, you kind of inform them, like, my info's on the back. If it's not something you want to keep doing, no hard feelings, just give me a call and let me know. But when I go in to check the boxes, I just open up the top, pull the leads out, and I bring in little goodies. If there's a bunch of ladies working there, I say, oh my gosh, I'm just, checking my box. And I always love bringing treats and goodies. And I just bring some treats and goodies for the people there. They're going to be excited to have you come and check the drawing box, right? So that's really great. So these are called these boxes are called ballot boxes. I will put the link in the description so that you have all the supplies that you need. And like I said, everything else is on my website too. But you guys, just get some of these out, have them start working for you. And then in the meantime, because it's going to take some time for these to generate the leads that you want. Don't be waiting around. You guys, people are everywhere. I've got great ideas, like honoring working women is really fun this time of year now that the weather is changing and it's nice out. Restaurant events, like bridal fairs are big right now. There's so many ways to get leads. So let's get out there and meet the people with our new mindsets, right? I expect that this is going to go really good. And even if it doesn't, sometimes after the fact, I'll say, well, I expected that. I don't know what I'm doing yet, right? Like I got to keep doing this. Like, I have to keep trying. I have to do 30 or 40 of these, like Emily said, and not just 10 of them, to get really good at it. So get the box out, make sure about nothing handwritten. You're not doing it. Don't even get that Sharpie out, girlfriend. Nope. You're going to go to bed. I'm going to haunt your dreams on that one. But no, seriously, you guys, this business is so fun. I mean, I want you to just imagine that you are so booked. How would your booking be different if you didn't need bookings? Like you still kept booking because that's what I do. I don't really need bookings, but I keep booking because that's why I never need bookings because I'm always booking. How would your
Sorry, I didn't realize I muted myself. Let me turn my camera back on. So I would love your feedback. What did you guys hear that you are going to implement? Feel free to unmute yourself. I want to get gallery view on here. Tell me, what did you hear that really spoke to you?
Well, I have to agree with they have to look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Most of the places I put them in are very shanky realtors and stuff, and you cannot have a piece of crap sitting there. So
Okay.
I think that's a great idea. And you should not be writing anything. You should print everything.
Right. Great comment. Anybody else? What was your greatest takeaway?
Can I say something?
Sure. Of course.
I think the mindset thing really spoke to me because she said, you know, but I've done that before. And then she said, no, that was then, you're different now. And that really spoke to me because, okay, when I first started Mary Kay 10 years ago, I think I jumped out and did like a booth event right away. I probably had 40 leads. I think I got, well, the first batch I got nothing off of. And the second batch the second event I went to, I maybe got 2 bookings out of. And it's like, but a lot of times I've just been really hesitant, but I have to, like, I'm a different person now than I was. So that was then, you're different now.
Yep. Anybody else? What was your greatest takeaway from what you heard? Janine.
Put out more than you expect.
And that's the part where you're going, well, I'll put out 1 or 2 and see what happens. Well, if you put out 10 and 3 or 4 disappear and you only put out 1 and it disappears, you're assuming they're all going to disappear, but that isn't the case. It's a numbers game. So thank you for picking up on that, Janine. I appreciate you. Anybody else? What was your greatest takeaway?
Carrie.
Oh, the 30 to 40 boxes, I was just like, I mean, I actually probably know that many businesses, so
You do. So I will tell you guys.
Chamber.
So let me share a couple things because I don't want to go over. So let me just go ahead and share a few things. So first of all, I'm going to screen share to boards. So if you go to boards, you will see my enter to win slips. This one happens to be one that talks about giving them a $15 gift card and an ultimate pampering session with a charcoal mask. You can also use these, which are microdermabrasion entry forms. I'm going to walk you through a few different things. Here's a different one that is a microdermabrasion treatment. So totally what you want to use, totally up to you. Here's one that says enter to win a free microdermabrasion facial. Okay, so again, here's the entry forms I've been using. And I'm going to show you all these in a second. Those I have laminated. This is the link to the boxes that I use, same boxes that she uses. Here is hers. This is Emily's sheet. Enter to win a free microdermabrasion facial. So you can use that one. Here's her drawing box booking script. So when you get the slips, what do you say to them? So here's when you call her and you're leaving a voicemail, or you get her live. If she says yes, what to do. If you get a voicemail, what to do. So those are all Emily's. And then this is her entry form. Now, if any of you guys are doing a booth event coming up, this is a great form to use. Enter name, text, city, email, occupation. I don't care about the occupation so much, but their age, category. Do you currently have a Mary Kay consultant? That's important. Are you interested in anti-aging, bridal, in-season, spa, whatever? And if you win one of our free beauty sessions, would you prefer to share it with friends or whatever? So again, you can use any of these. These are all now loaded on our thing called Facial Boxes Fishbowl. So they're all there for you. Now, I'm going to share with you really quick what mine look like. So I buy the white boxes, very identical to hers. I saw this in someone else's, and I have these laminated. So there's 2 on a page. I do some in hot pink and some in purple, and they just say hello, beautiful. So you cut them out with a scissors, which is a pain in the neck, but it looks good. Put double stick tape on the back, and that just makes it decorated because it grabs their attention. Then on the sign, I had the enter to win. On mine, I put my card in the back, but unlike hers, one of the things I did is I always found trouble with the slips. So what I do is I put a paper clip inside the box so that the cord doesn't pull through. And then I attach a ribbon to it so it looks classy, and I attach all the slips. I put 35 to 40 slips on each ribbon. So when this is all folded up and this goes in here like this, right? This just sits on their counter. I usually put the entry slips just on top with the pen, just like this. They just sit there. That way they can't say, I missed the forms, I ran out of the forms. The forms are flipping on here. They can't fall on the floor. They're on, you hole punch it. So whatever you want to do. Now I will tell you about the getting out a whole bunch. Talk about a mindset thing is I ordered 20 and I went to FedEx Kinko's and I committed, man. I had this backing laminated. This is a backing that's already laminated. So you can peel it off when the box just gets destroyed. I have this. I have 20 of these, 20 of these. I ran off all of these. I got pens, the whole 9 yards. Now they're sitting there. So everybody grab a quick piece of paper. We're going to do a really fast exercise. Everybody grab a piece of paper. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be really, really honest with you. Some of my best boxes have been where my customers work. So think about the 4 to 5 people who have spent the most money with you in the last 6 months. Do they work? Now I'll pick on Debbie for a second. So let's say Debbie says 3 of the 5 people who spent the most money are retired. Do they volunteer at a church? Do they volunteer anywhere? Because where they volunteer, you could put it there. So I want you to think about dentist office, orthodontist office. Could be your dentist. What about tanning salon? What about your hair salon if they don't sell makeup? Who do you know who is a teacher? That's really big. Who do you know that's a teacher? You put it in the teacher's break room. Who do you know who's a nurse? You put it in the nurse's break room. Who do you know who has access or works at a daycare? You put it in the counter of the daycare. Every mom who is a working mom will just about wet her pants when she signs up for a facial. I'm not kidding you. They get so excited. So just be thinking about that. So when I think about some of the customers, now Katie is one of my best customers. She spent, you know, that end of the year report I was talking about at my earlier training, she spent over $1,500 with me last year. And I keep saying, Katie, you should be a consultant. No, I'd rather write you a check. Are you sure you spent $1,500 with me? She's like, no, I know, it's okay. I'm thinking, okay, but she works. But here's the deal. She works virtually. So that's not going to help me. However, she's very involved in her community out in Oakley, very involved, not chamber, but just like social bunco groups, that kind of thing. So I know that if I just either give her a box or say, where do you frequent? Here's what I do is if she was my client. So let's say Debbie's my customer and I say, Debbie, don't you volunteer at church? And she goes, I do. And I said, well, how would you like a bunch of free Mary Kay? She's like, well, what do I have to do, Diane? Say, well, what if you took this to the church and I gave it to you for 2 weeks, and for every slip you get in that box that either books an appointment with me or purchases anything, I don't even care if it's an eyeliner, you automatically get $5 of free product. So Debbie, I know you've been eyeballing that. You need another lifting serum. If you get me 10 names, that potentially could be $50 in free product. That lifting serum could cost you barely 20 bucks. Now all of a sudden Debbie's going, I'd like that box. Okay. So if you have them where your customers have an incentive from you, they'll help you get leads. And I'm not saying don't go into your favorite restaurant. Don't go into places that know you. Go into places that you frequent. Take it into your dentist's office. And you can't say, well, I have a facial box in the car, because they're thinking it's a big box with a face on it. They don't know what that means. But if you walk in with this and you do exactly what Emily said, I'm giving away spa sessions for the women in the area. Could I put this here for a week or two? They go, yeah, sure. Why not? You don't have to go through this whole ordeal about I'm building a clientele here and I want, gang, they don't care. I mean, I hate to say this, but they don't care. It's like the coffee person. How do you want your coffee? They don't need to know your entire allergy list and all the things that you want. They just need to know what you want to drink. So this is, you got to make these. If you make 20, it will drive you nuts because you will want them out of your house because they take up a lot of room. So you're going to put your card on the back, because I actually had a person about a month ago. She was desperate for blonde eyebrow pencil. She turned over the box and she said, I saw your box in the Mexican restaurant in Benicia, but I'm desperate for blonde eyebrow pencil. Can I come by today and get some? She saw my box. She didn't fill out a slip. Oh, that's the other thing. Put one slip inside. Put your dog's name and your phone number on it or something. I don't really care what you put on it, but fill out a slip and put it inside. Because when people look in here and there's nothing in it, they won't enter. But if there's already a slip, they will enter. It's a psychological thing. I don't know why, but if the box is empty, they don't enter. So I'm telling you, facial boxes are totally the way to go. Okay. So I want to challenge each and every one of you guys. So here's the deal. I'm going to ask you guys a really honest question. I'm going to pause this for
Anyway,
Right, but what I'm saying is if you put it where your customers work, it's great. But don't be intimidated by the restaurants that are near you, the yoga stores. So think about where are the clientele you want. Another great place is where are women sitting where they're bored is a tire repair place where they go into the Les Schwab or the whatever. They're sitting there while they're getting tires are fixed. All the magazines are boring. They're all outdated. And so the women are like, I want to do a facial box. I want to put my name in that thing. So those are
Oil
another,
change.
huh?
What about oil change?
Oil change, as long as it's not a drive-through one, but if there's one with the lobby,
Oh.
absolutely. The tire places, the oil change places, all of those, anywhere where there's women that are going to be waiting. Okay. So it's just a great way. It's one of many ways. But when you guys are saying to me, I need more leads, yes, there's booth events, bridal fairs, spring festivals, earth festivals. I might have a chance to get a table this weekend at a garden thing where they're selling plants. I just want to hand out anti-skin cancer brochures. But there's events like that. But I'm going to share one last thing with you, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording real